So we finished the Alcyon blue staining procedure, and these are some embryos that have been sitting for a long time in methyl salicylate. So you can see how the methyl salicylate is much clearer out here, and this is a glass vial so I don't stain any plastic, for example. What I'd like you to do is look at this chick embryo and look for the cartilage. Can you see along the back side of the neck each of the individual vertebrae? Next, look and see in the limbs. Can you see dark blue each bone of the limb? Can you see in the ribs here each bone of the rib? Now remember, this is Alcyon blue is staining cartilage, and the cartilage is being laid down first as a matrix which will eventually fill up with bone. So each individual toe is visible in the Alcyon blue stain. The eyeballs are just dark staining because they're dark. If I was to lift this up, I hope that you've been able to see the ribs as I've been moving it around here. But if I lift it out of the water, can you now see each individual hair follicle on the outside, or feather follicle I should call it? This is where each of those little bumps is where a feather would have grown on the outside of this chick. So this histology procedure allows us to look through the cleared tissues. Remember that methyl salicylate makes tissues see-through. That is called clearing. It's not the same thing as removing pigment as if we did it from the eyes. This embryo took more of the dye up, and so even though it's been sitting in methyl salicylate for a very long time, there's so much dye left in the embryo that it's harder to see through it to see the individual structures. If I give you as much light as I can here, hopefully you can see each bone in the limb, each digit, each rib, each vertebrae. So the things that are stained dark blue here are each individual bone. So here's the shoulder, and that's the bone connected right here to a forelimb, which is forming into a wing. And here's the hip. And there's the bones of the leg. I keep saying bones, but of course it's a cartilage matrix. I think that might be the best image so far of seeing each of the vertebrae along the spine. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the histological procedure known as cartilage staining with Alcyon blue. Thanks.